The time has come. You clicked on this video. You've seen the thumbnail. You know what the fuck I'm about to talk about. Now let's all be adults here, fanboys and haters alike. Both of you please shut the fuck up so we can discuss this in a mannerly fashion. Now, it's no secret, I love the Call of Duty games. I don't try to hide this. I'm stating this at the beginning of this review so you know that it's not completely unbiased. However, all the points I will be talking about are valid, and I hope you can see past the fact that I enjoy these games and see that they are valid. Now, it's no secret that I love the games, but I can also admit they've made many mistakes. Like looking at Advanced Warfare and how they implemented microtransactions using the supply drops, or how a lot of the games have done this endless stream of overpriced camos for weapons. But they also do some things pretty great, like even for Ghosts with the whole Snoop Dogg voice announcer pack. I mean, yeah, there was a gunny one too, but fucking Snoop Dogg, yo. You had Snoop Dogg telling you, "Foshizi, you just got busy." Shit was awesome, okay? So, with that being said,
Jayson's Judgements, I'm gonna judge a game.
let's start with a clear message before we get onto the actual review. Now, if you want to claim that this game is the same copy-paste bullshit, stop and take a look at yourself. Do you enjoy the Pokemon games? Assassin's Creed? Maybe Halo? Battlefield? But still claim this of this title? You're a little biased. And not in the good way. It's okay to defend your favorite franchise, but at least admit that there's a lot of double standard going on here, especially when it comes to Call of Duty. Now, if you've actually played this title and claim the same copy-paste bullshit argument, you're more biased against the series than most fanboys are towards it, and you need to sit the fuck down, the adults are talking. Now, if you've played this game and it's not for you, that's cool. Not everything's for everybody. I'm not saying everybody will enjoy this game. If you don't like FPS games, you're not gonna like this game. It's at its core, it's an FPS game. Now, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 takes major strides not only for the franchise, but for FPS games as a whole. It really revolutionizes the concept of how we do things. Now, first, we have to address the argument that you hear every time. It's the same company putting out the same shit every year. I mean, okay, sure, I mean your facts are wrong, but sure. It's the same publisher, Activision, that puts out promo material for it, that hires actors for things like promo spots and such, that puts out the promotional material for the game, that pays the developer to make the game, but it's not the same developer every year. And I'm gonna break it down for you. I got a list right in front of me. I'm gonna pull it towards me so you'll see a thing in my hand so you know I'm reading it off of something and not just going off my brain. You start with Call of Duty in 2003, done by Infinity Ward. This was the first in the whole franchise. And then Call of Duty Finest Hour was done in 2004 by Spark Unlimited. This is the last game they ever made as far as Call of Duty went, so apparently it wasn't their finest hour. Shut up, I love puns. This was basically a console port of the PC version. And then you had Call of Duty 2 in 2005, done by Infinity Ward. And then Call of Duty 2, Big Red One, was basically a console port of the PC version done by Treyarch. And this is where they were brought into the fold. Call of Duty 3 in 2006 was done by Treyarch. And this is the start of the multi-platform release, not just for the PlayStation and Xbox consoles, but for PC as well. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare in 2007, done by Infinity Ward, is what really brought the game into the juggernaut it is today. Call of Duty World at War in 2008, done by Treyarch, and a lot of people complain that it didn't get a sequel. Technically, you're wrong. It did. It's called Black Ops. World at War is a prequel to Black Ops. Look it up. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, done in 2009 by Infinity Ward. Call of Duty Black Ops in 2010, done by Treyarch. You know, that never-made sequel to World at War. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, done in 2011 by Infinity Ward. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, done in 2012 by Treyarch. Call of Duty Ghosts in 2013, Infinity Ward. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare in 2014 by Sledgehammer. And this year, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, done by Treyarch, 2015. Now, for those of you a little behind on math, I did it for you. That's 4 different developers, 6 games from Infinity Ward, 6 from Treyarch, 1 from Sledgehammer, and 1 from Spark Unlimited. Yeah, sure, same developer. Absolutely. Now, when Advanced Warfare was announced, so was the fact that this whole franchise was going to a 3-year development cycle rather than a 2-year, because before it was Infinity Ward and Treyarch taking turns doing 2 years, put out game. Black Ops 3 is the first title in the franchise to really be affected by this. And especially in the campaign, it fucking shows. This 3-year development cycle is the best thing that could have happened to the franchise as a whole. Normally I'd talk about campaign first, but there's a few other things I want to cover before I get into campaign. Like, since I'm playing on PC, I wanted to talk about the settings, as well as talk about the new movement mechanics and stuff like that, as well as, well, we'll get to some of the other extra stuff later.
Now in options, we have a lot of options here. Of course, controls, you can say your sensitivity, you can ignore mouse acceleration, because you shouldn't need that. Of course, free look, all that stuff. You can find different things here. Combat, interactions, gamepad. If you really wanted to use a gamepad on the PC, don't know why you would, but that's okay. But this game does split screen even on PC. And you can set the second player's options while you're in this menu. And then content filter, you can have graphic content disabled, so there are certain scenes and such in single player that are not going to be shown if you have that disabled. Graphics, I have it widowed full screen because that works really nice for me. Doesn't fuck around with it when I tab out. Right now I have it synced to 60 frames because that just makes it easier for streaming, because I've been streaming this quite a bit while I've been playing through it, trying to get review ready to go. Here's one thing that's nice, field of view. Now I wish it would go a little higher, but 120 is really good for an FPS. Of course I have the draw FPS set up there. I'm going to disable sync every frame, and I'm going to knock it all the way up there, so I can show you how well it actually runs on this PC. Now I know this PC is completely beast, but I am running everything at as high as I can put it. Whoops. There we go. So on and so forth. And here's an option I don't see very often, is you can choose which monitor you want it to be on. And audio, master, voice, music, sound effects, presets, test. And multiplayer dialogue and such. I find this pretty cool. There are many instances, especially when you first start around, where the specialists will talk to each other. And sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're just like the general hoo-ah kind of thing. And chat, at this point I just have mute all except party on. It just makes things easier, because people online are toxic. And that's not exclusive to Call of Duty, that's any game ever. I have push to talk on, and I have it bound to a button on my mouse. Now, here's something that's nice and different from the beta. In the beta, they didn't have this stuff hidden. It automatically comes hidden, so it's not going to show it when you first boot it up unless you decide to show it. I'm obviously not going to show it, because I'm not an idiot. Boop, boop, boop. says music tracks coming soon, so I assume there's going to be some music packs released for this. Which, that's fine. I'd rather have music packs released than fucking camos like we've always seen. Like, Ghosts had the really cool announcer packs where you had fucking Snoop Dogg talking about how you're wrecking shit. Yeah, please.
While Advanced Warfare had 3D movement even using boosts and such, and Black Ops 3 has a similar system, it's very different in the way it's executed.
Same, but different. But still same.
You get used to it and practice it in this new mode that Treyarch has designed called Free Run.
Free run.
As you can see in that clip, a lot has changed. Now, there's unlimited sprint, so that perk is replaced by what basically gives you a faster recharge on your thrusters, which is that little bar you saw underneath the crosshair there, and that shows how much you have left. So you could either do one long burst for your jump, or you could tap it to get 3 little jumps out of it, things like that. It's able to use a little bit more fluidly with the environment around you. And whenever you're not using it, it has a chance to charge up, even if you're wall running. So say you boost up onto a wall and start your wall run, and your boost charges up, you jump off the wall and boost onto the ground, starting a sprint slide thing. It all can be combined very effectively, not only for great like terrain traversal, but you can also use great applications of it in combat as well.
Yeah.
Now, if for nothing else, it's really good for squirreling away when you need to get out of an engagement, whether they're too far away for you to really challenge them, or you need to reload, or any other reason you need to squirrel away and get safe. In short, I fucking love this movement system. It's fucking fantastic. So, let's get started with the campaign. And if you've seen any of my other previous videos, you'll know that I won't be spoiling anything major from the story, which I'm holding very cautious in this case because this story is actually pretty fucking fantastic. Now, I will be talking about some things, but they're not stuff that are past, say, the first half hour. So you're good. So, we knew, even before this game came out, that it was going to be about cybernetic augmentation and artificial intelligence and human upgrading and all this kind of stuff, and get into the controversial stuff. And there was kind of some of a cookie cutter story I expected, and thankfully you don't start out with these upgrades. It starts you off in your normal kind of warfare zone. You're a part of a Black Ops team. You got a buddy with you that you've been buddies with for a while, and you know where that story is going to go, right? Wait. It doesn't. They don't build him up for one mission just to kill him off. Yeah, shocked, right? I think maybe it's been a plot that all these companies have had together to have that one character in all their games where they're like, yes, we'll build him up and then we'll kill him off in the first story and no one will care, so that they will care about this one character. Now you're thinking, oh, how's my character supposed to be motivated? He's always motivated by the death of his friend. It's like, hey, we've been best friends since we were little. We joined the military together and somehow got in the same special unit thing. And oh no, there's some kind of peril happening and only one of us can live. I will sacrifice myself so that you can live, friend. But you don't really care about him? Yeah, that doesn't happen here. However, they still find a way to, motivate you to get these upgrades.
Oh, there goes an arm. There goes the other arm. Jesus.
How? I get chills and jitters thinking about that because, oh my god, no, thank you. Overkill much? Now, after this, my favorite character in the game makes another appearance, and you've seen him before, but this time you realize, okay, he's going to be a major part in this story. And, like I said, he's my favorite character. Look at this dude.
Brutal robots much? Fuck! I'm glad I'm recording this so that I can, like, go through this frame by frame and see what the fuck all that just said.
Hey, still with us? Welcome back.
Taylor.
Yeah. Do you know what's happening to you?
Am I dreaming?
Well, let's say you are. Why not just go with it, right? After all, you can always wake up. December 12th, 2054, 7:30 a.m. We're on board a private commuter train headed to the Zurich headquarters of the Coalescence Corporation. Our cargo, prototype for the Winslow Accord Neural Network Initiative. At its core, specialized AI software that's capable of rewriting itself in order to interface with any other system in the world. State-of-the-art stuff back in the day. It'd go on to revolutionize a broad range of military and civilian applications. At least, it would have if the train had reached its destination. At 7:31 a.m., a terrorist group detonated an explosive device on board this train. The incident sent back our robotics program several years. You're here to stop it.
This isn't real. It can't be. What is happening to me?
Right now, you're in a medically induced coma being prepped for surgery. You've got a new bit of hardware inside your head. It's called a direct neural interface, or DNI. I've got one too. That's how I'm able to communicate with you.
I really like the way this was done because it was an incredible way to kind of like put you into the world and teach you what's going on without jarring you with all this exposition of, oh, so-and-so happened back then. Oh, is that so? Yep, so-and-so. Oh, okay, so that's why we're on this mission now? Yep, because so-and-so back there that I just told you about with my words and mouth. No, they actually show you things that happened and kind of your motivations as to what you're going to be doing next, but they give it in such a way that not only are they teaching your character and you how to use your abilities and what abilities you have and how this future really works and things like that. It's done in a way that is not jarring. It's giving exposition, it's giving you tutorial, and you're still in the world. They're not taking you out of the world to teach you. And that's something awesome, and I'm impressed with the way they did this because it's all very fluid. It fits into the way this story is going. Instead of that throwaway line of, oh yeah, there was a team that infiltrated this facility and it took 6 hours, and by the time we got there, train went boom. Instead of that, they have you see this whole thing going on and this team pulling up and getting blown to shit, and then you play through the mission that they were supposed to be doing, and you get to the end of it like, that only took you 6 minutes. It took the other team like 6 hours. And you know what? Outcome, train go boom.
Knowing that, how could you trust anything?
RPG! 11:30 a.m., December 11th, 2054. Zerk security forces receive an anonymous tip giving them the location of a hideout the terrorists are using. Unfortunately, the ZSF underestimated the firepower these assholes were packing. They got caught with their pants down, and they took it hard. Outcome? Train go boom.
Now, the story is not the standard Call of Duty find and kill the bad guy bullshit. There's a lot of underlying tones and messages that develop, and it really feels like there's actually an advanced story going on here, and there's several different arcs and different motivations. You start to question yourself as your character and why you're doing the things you're doing, and if what you're seeing is real, and if what's going on is real, if this is all just a figment of your imagination, or if that guy's really doing that because he's bad, or is he really not bad and you're the bad one, or is this whole world just a fucked up dream and you never really made it out of that mission, or just like all this kinds of stuff. It raises all these questions and goes into a lot of these different moral dilemmas where you're like, I don't know how I would react here if I was put in the same exact position as a person. And it's really interesting to see just all these characters. They feel like they have connections with other characters and better with some than others, and it all feels like a good story that's not just point A to point B to QTE to point C to end. In fact, there's not one single QTE. Shocking, right? Now, another thing that sets this campaign apart from not just other Call of Duties, but other shooters as a whole, is you have this staging area in between missions. Well, after the first one where you get your arms torn off, and then those training missions to get you acquainted with your new found abilities and stuff, you have the staging area. And depending on where you are in the campaign is where your staging area is located. So it could be on a hastily set up forward operating base in the area of conflict your last mission was just in, or you could be on a fucking cargo plane. It varies from where you are place to place, and that's really cool. Now, in the staging area, there's actually a lot to do here. So first we'll start with your bunk. You have an area I had hoped there would be more customization. Now, there is some of your bunk. I had hoped, I don't know, change the fucking color of your sheets, some kind of shit. Like I said, there's some customization. You have different collectibles you can find in missions, large, medium, small, and they can be displayed in different places. A large poster, a medium dish or something, small things in different areas. And you can pick what goes where in its respective category, as well as being able to customize your character in there. And now, when you start the game, you get to create a character, which really means you get to choose a gender, and choose between like 1 of 6 different exactly the same looking faces. But with this character customization here, it's different stuff like different helmets and different chest pieces and stuff. And honestly, most of it's just kind of boring and whatever, but I still like getting them all because I'm getting them all. Now also in these areas, you have your desktop net thing to where you can, it's essentially the same thing as the computer in the first Black Ops, to where if you were in the main menu and you were able to go through and you get your arms off the chair and you go to the computer in the back and start typing stuff in, you could unlock stuff and play games and stuff and find out stuff about characters hidden in the background and stuff like that. Yeah, it's the same thing, it's just a more advanced GUI and a little bit easier to use. A lot of bit easier to use. There's like no typing involved. Now, if you're just playing the campaign on your own, there'll be a bunk open, which is your bunk, and then there'll be 3 bunk doors that are closed. Now, say your friend joins you. Bunk door open, his bunk right there. And it's just another kind of cool way to visually represent, hey, look, this person is actually there with you going through these missions. Also in the same area, you have basically a limited dossier of what your next mission is going to be, or whatever next mission you currently have selected, because you can, in the computer terminal right next to it, choose which mission you're going to do next. And I heard that all the missions were going to be unlocked from the start, but I didn't see that as the case. I had to progress through it linearly, in a linear fashion. And I'm not complaining about this. Not a single point in the mission made me think, man, I really wish I could skip this. But I guess that was just misinformation on somebody's part. Now, this dossier usually gives you about a sentence of, hey, this is what you're going to be doing next, or this is what you should be doing next. No promises, wink. And yeah, it doesn't always follow what that sentence says. Sometimes it's just like out of left field, oh, look, there's this new different thing happening that you totally didn't expect. Ha, gotcha. And in the same area, it also tells you what's the most likely amounts of encounters, little progression bars that show long, medium, and short range different encounters, and the more high they're filled up or colored in, the more of that encounter is expected. So you know what to do with your loadout. So from there to loadouts, you have your armory. And your XP system in campaign works much like multiplayer's XP system. In fact, it's the same system. It's XP. You level up and unlock weapons and stuff. Now, instead of perks, they have a different kind of upgrade, which is more useful for things in campaign. Like the fact that weapons have like a biological imprint on a certain predetermined user, so you can't pick up enemy weapons unless you have this special little campaign perk thing, and oh, now you can pick up enemy weapons. Oh, you upgraded it a second time? You can pick up the grenades, bro. Also, in your customization, there are cores. Now, strap in, there's a lot to go over with the cores here. I mean, not a lot, there's a lot to list off. Now, unlocking items and power for use in campaign uses fabrication kits. Does fabrication kits work like unlock tokens in multiplayer, except it's the single player version. And these are used for both the armory, which I just talked about, and the cores, which I'm about to talk about right now. Right picture. These powers stem in 3 different trees: Control, Martial, and Chaos. Each tree has a main introductory power and 2 separate sides. Control is for powers that have more to do with the environment and robotic enemies. It starts with System Paralysis, which disables robots and turrets, and stems down between Debilitate, which is more about disabling and screwing with electronics, and Hijack, which is about hijacking the electronics. You have the Martial tree, which is my personal favorite, and it starts with Overdrive, which is moving and aiming and reloading quicker, and so on and so forth. And then the 2 sides are Cunning and Fury. Cunning has things like disabling weapons, active camo, and smokescreen that disables certain systems, and Fury has Overwhelming Force, which is basically going all Sonic and smashing shit apart that's in your path, and more destructive things like Ground Pound and things like that. And finally, Chaos has Panic and Devastation, either causing massive amounts of explosions or confusing the enemy, causing, well, chaos. Much like the campaign perks that I talked about, which are called TAC rigs, these cores also have 2 different levels of unlock. First unlock to use it, second unlock for a greater strength or hit more enemies or longer duration, that kind of thing. This is a really cool way that they've switched it up from how multiplayer does it and gives it more of a campaign use, and it feels right for the campaign where a specialist really wouldn't. There's also a different station where you can try different loadouts and everything's unlocked from the get-go and all that good stuff. You get to try it out in a virtual field, much like the VR room, Star Trek, anyone. You have access to everything. And you choose your loadout, you go into this VR training.
Jesus!
Now you can't do the VR training with the people that are with you, but you can all do it at the same time, just not with each other. Even though you can't be doing this with each other, you can see what's happening for other people if you're not in it yourself and you're actually standing behind where their chair is and looking at their screen, which is pretty fucking cool.
Oh my god, I can see what he's doing on the screen. That's cool.
On top of all this, the staging areas feel really alive, like they're actually a location in a place that exists, because there's not just all your equipment and stuff, but there's actual like NPCs who mop the floors and water plants and stuff, and the plants look great. Good virtual watering. You didn't choke it. Now, because of all this and the way the story is, honestly, this is single-handedly the best campaign Call of Duty has ever had, and one of the best FPS campaigns I've ever played, period. Still trying to decide if it's the best, but it's definitely one of the best. Now, when you're ready for your next mission, you go to the door to start mission, basically your ready up area, and you choose your loadout. Now, you have your 5 loadouts that you've created, and then you have one that's been basically created for you, a suggested loadout kind of deal, you know, your field ops kit. This is what you should use. Wink, wink. This could be useful. As well as you can choose anybody who's in your campaign. You can also choose their loadouts. So if I have 4 people playing in the same campaign, I have a choice between 21 different loadouts. And having different loadouts isn't useless either. Even if you mainly use one gun, there are places stashed all over the place. These resupply crates, which refill all your ammo and grenades and stuff, as well as these loadout crates where you can go and change your loadout. Now, no spoilers, like I said, but this campaign is fan-fucking-tastic. And honestly, it's a little mind-bending.
What? What?
Now, it gets a little jarring at times, because if, say, you're not the person who initiated something to make the cutscene progress or things like that, then it does this really weird pull you into their vision kind of thing that seems a little too slow and too fancy. And like I said, it's a little jarring.
Central console. Pull any data you can. Hey, it's okay.
But another really cool element they have is this tactical mode where essentially when you have it up, anything that your team sees, even if it includes AI that happens to be on your team for this mission, whatever, anything anyone sees, you can see, whether it's through walls and that kind of stuff. But not only that, it kind of shows you what basic kind of enemy they are, if they're a more long-range enemy, that kind of thing, as well as the safer and unsafer areas on the ground for you to be on. Like, say, there's a point of cover here, there's an open point here, there's a point of cover here, and there's a shitload of enemies over there. Behind the things of cover, it's got to be like greenish, yellowish. In this little spot in the middle, the fuck barrel, that's where the visual says, hey, you're going to get fucked here. A grenade comes in, lands right next to you. There's going to be a circle around the grenade that basically says, hey, get the fuck out of here. Also, apparently people complained about like breaching and stuff in the past games. You know, when you breach a door and everything starts to go in slow-mo and you have to take out targets and maybe you're on maybe 2 or 1 more and then it slowly speeds up. Yeah, I love that shit. That shit is awesome. And it feels like that happens too a few times in this campaign. And considering there's no QTEs, they could have justified putting more of this in there. And they didn't. It's kind of a little disappointing, but the times where you do it, it's very justified, and it's a very cool setting. Now, we got to talk about it. You know, it's not the most important thing to me, but I got to talk about it because it is a factor. You know how long this campaign took me? Over 8 hours. Yes. And it has replay value. And it's a complete story, but yet still has a minor cliffhanger. And it's enjoyable throughout. And it encourages me to come back for more. And it has many different ways to approach different situations, further encouraging that multiple replays. I feel like this campaign completely annihilates other recent releases in the same genre and, you know, Halo 5. I'm sorry, I got something stuck in my throat. I think it was mediocrity. Tastes horrible. Now, another thing this campaign does so well is showing you a future world, not just a future war, a future world. And the difference is important. A future war, you're gonna see all these future weapons and soldiers and explosions and more weapons and big buildings going boom. Whereas, yeah, that shit's definitely happening. It's fucking Call of Duty, come on. However, there's also the flip side of it where you actually see these civilizations and citizens and just worlds that are breathing and functioning and everybody's going about their daily lives before these catastrophes happen, and there's just all this cool like futuristic shit that people are just kind of like, meh, that's an ad. Like we probably would if we were in that point in time. Now, it's time to get to my biggest gripe about the game. A lot of people say it's trivial. I don't care. It makes me fucking furious. The fucking sensor for your loadouts. Okay, I have an SMG. That is my main weapon. I built this class to just be an SMG with a shitload of attachments, nothing else. I want to name that class SMG, so I know that's the one that's only SMG, nothing else. Type in name SMG. Oh, content filter won't let me put SMG. Somehow it's profane. What? I can't put SMG. I can't put shotgun, but I can put assault. I mean, assault has ass in it, and I haven't been able to do it with other games. I can't put classic, because it has ass in it, but I can put assault. Look, we're all adults here. I mean, most of us. And then the people who lied and clicked that can watch mature content and are watching this channel anyways. I'm gonna tell your mom. Other than that, we're all adults here. We can handle a couple of fuck bombs. this game drops more than a couple of fuck bombs. And there's a lot of blood. Like, people get hit with arrow that explodes. They explode into explosion blood thing. It gets bloody. It gets violent. There's a lot of language. It doesn't hold back, but not in a way that feels like, you know, your 10-year-old cousin just swearing because he thinks he's cool and in the rap game, yo. Not just saying fuck for fuck's sake, but because shit is fucked up. That's the kind of characters we deal with. That being said, this game has well earned its M rating. Since it is M, I have damn well earned the right to name my loadout Anal Fuck Blaster if I wanted to. I mean, not going to, but I have the right. It's M. Especially since the fact that there's only two groups of people who are going to see my personal loadouts. People on my stream and people in my campaign games. And both of those groups of people know I say the fuck bomb a lot. Fuck! It's fucking obnoxious. That's what it is. So, after you complete the campaign, you get unlocked this thing called Nightmares. And it's kind of a nightmare, because it's not very good. See what I did there? I mean, shut up, it's bad. I mean, the idea of it is interesting. It takes different missions from the campaign, plucks them out of their own little story there and says, maybe we can scotch tape this over here and tear some of that out and put some of that in. So they take out the normal enemies and put in zombies. And they take out loadouts and they put in weapon drops. And they take out the story and they put in some random narrator giving you some bullshit about an anti-zombie cleanup team or something. I'm not entirely sure, and at this point I don't really care, because thank God this didn't replace actual zombies, because, I mean, it's an interesting idea, but it was poorly executed and lazily done. I mean, when I say it was pulled straight from campaign and put into this, it was pulled straight from campaign and put into this. Like, even the cutscenes are the same, except for instead of the person talking where their lips move, there's the little voiceover of the narrator giving that expositional dialogue, talking to somebody else about a thing, and zombie cleanup crew, and I don't fucking know. Now, in the first Black Ops, you had a hidden mode called Dead Ops Arcade, which, if you didn't play it, is basically a zombies version of Smash TV, but instead of the, I don't know, TV extras who try to kill you. Whatever, it's a twin-stick shooter. You have different rooms you go into and to finish the room and then go to a different room and so on and so forth. And it's a shitload of fun. Black Ops 3 has something similar. Dead Up Arcade 2. Now, much like the first one, it's hidden and you gotta find it. And I'm not going to tell you where to find it, because half the fun is trying to find it. Or giving up and Googling it. Or not even trying and Googling it. Whatever, it's not on me, it's on you. Speaking of zombies, zombies! Now, Treyarch has it down to an art by this point. They've already built up so much fascinating lore and everything. I didn't know how they were going to start this. And then they showed us a trailer for Shadows of Evil. And at first I was kind of like, are they going to pull this off? I mean, they kind of did it before. And is it going to be good? And holy shit, it's good. Like, really good. I mean, okay, so they introduce a lot of new mechanics. One being called Gobblegum.
What? Dr. Bobblegum.
Gobblegum is much like your unlocks in multiplayer and in campaign. You progress your zombies EXP and unlock more things, and that's your loadout. You have 5 different Gobblegum that you can have in your loadout, and those are purchased at a Gobblegum machine, which gives you one of the random Gobblegum. And I gotta stop saying Gobblegum, but I love saying Gobblegum, so I'm not gonna stop saying Gobblegum. Anyways, you get to the Gobblegum machine, and you get one, it's a random one from your loadout, and it's random one-time use things. Things like, I fire without taking anything from my magazine. It all comes straight from my reserve, so I could sit there and shoot without reloading until my bullets are empty. Or, oh no, I'm dead. Oh wait, when I come back, I'll have all my weapons again. I am saved. Or, oh no, I'm dead. I have to wait all the way until all the zombies are dead. No, I just have to wait till near the end of the round instead of waiting till the beginning of next round. Oh, that's cool. Just a lot of stuff like that. And it's really interesting to see it added in a different way than the perk machines, because things like that Resurrection were done with a perk machine before. And there are new perk machines as well, and honestly, I haven't even traversed most of this area, and I get a little distracted. There's another new mechanic that, first time I got to see it, I was a little too excited.
You bear the mark. You are cursed. You must place your hand upon the stone.
I don't think this is a dream.
The curse leaves. Ah! I'm a squid thingy! What the fuck am I?
Coming back. My bones.
I fucking love that thing. I don't even know what to call it. The curse. That sounds lame. I'd like to call it. I don't know. I don't know what I call it. I just know that every time I turn into the thing, I chant tentacles, 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 tentacles until it's over. Don't know why I do it. It just makes me happy. Anyway, like I was saying, this map is fantastic. There's so much shit to find. That whole squid tentacle thing, it really creates new mechanics. You have to use it to power up the machines and open certain doors that you couldn't before, and break apart certain objects to find objects within them, and break apart boxes that have this weird tentacle monster statue thing on them, and I still don't know what to do. And that's one thing that I love that Treyarch does about the whole zombies thing, is it's never just like straight up give it to you like, hey, here you go, here's everything. No, it's you're uncovering piece after piece after piece after piece and trying to put it all together. And that one DLC that comes down like 3 maps down the line, you're like, oh, that's what this one piece meant, and now it's all starting to come together, and that's why this happened, and that's how that happened. Oh, this conversation over here makes sense now. Just the way they piece everything together and pull it apart and hide it all, and it's all just so fucking fascinating. I love their lore, and I love the world that they built within zombies alone. Now, they're incredible at doing the zombie story, and they launched it into fucking orbit with the Giant. Now, I'm not sure how to feel. That's a lie. I know exactly how to feel about how they did this. Okay, so the Giant, for those of you who don't know, is a recreation of the last map that came out for zombies for World at War, Der Riese. That's my personal favorite from World at War, and that's the only reason I played World at War. Didn't like the campaign or multiplayer. Anyways, this map added a lot of new mechanics, and that's when they really got good at like the whole secrets thing and Easter eggs, and oh look, here's a thing over there, and here to start planting these seeds of different things that are going on in this world. And in the way they recreated it, they didn't just do a straight up like, okay, let me click and drag this gobblegum machine right there and another gobblegum machine over there, and there's one of the new perk machines, and okay, we're good, let's ship it. No. What they did was they wrote it into the story as to why you're revisiting this place. And it all has to do with the crazy time continuity that is going on in the zombies world and all the crazy shit and stuff. And it's doing it in a way that, like, the characters you're playing as have been here before, but they're replacing the ones that were there before. So those ones are no longer around, it's the new ones. Like, the old Richtofen killed the Richtofen that doesn't know the future stuff. So the future Richtofen killed the old Richtofen, whatever. He killed himself. And it sets this whole new continuity into its own place. And it doesn't completely negate anything that happened before. It's just this is what's happening going forward. It's really interesting. And the way it's locked is pretty shitty. I mean, in order to get this map, you have to have the season pass. I had hoped we would see a zombie season pass, where if you're not that into multiplayer but want to play the campaign and play the shit out of zombies, because I was like that with the first Black Ops. I mean, the map packs were okay, but I wanted zombies. That's what I was really there for. I played multiplayer and I played the shit out of it, but zombies was why I was there. And I'd hoped to see some sort of like zombies season pass kind of thing going on, or seeing the Giant released as its own DLC would have been fine, its own little thing. But they didn't do that, and that's really disappointing and really shitty for the people who can't justify the purchase of the season pass but are still big zombies fans, especially with how much this map does for the whole continuity. I mean, before they made the map packs worth it for zombies players, because with like the original Black Ops, you had packs 1, 2, and 3, which all had a zombies map and 4 multiplayer maps, and then the last one was called Resurrection, which gave you all the World at War maps from zombies, put them in Black Ops, as well as a new one, Moon. And a lot of the fucking morons raised a stink about it, because you don't play zombies, multiplayer is everything. Why would I touch zombies? Why would I touch campaign? I gotta play multiplayer all the time. Either that, or they only played zombies in campaign for the gamer score and nothing else. Yeah, those kinds of fucking people complained. Anyway, back to the point. I'm kind of disappointed to see this happen. And I hope to see zombies kind of a little bit separated from this whole season pass thing, or given its own season pass thing. I mean, honestly, I would buy the 2 separate season passes. I'd just like to see it cater more to both sides instead of like, it's more of a value for multiplayer players at the moment, where you get 4 maps plus a zombies map. I'd like to see them separately priced. Now, multiplayer. As a bonus, we get Nuketown with a 3 because they're cool and hip and it's the future and we use numbers and words or something. I mean, yay. It's okay. It's just Nuketown again that we've seen the 3rd time. There was another map that we could have seen a 3rd time that was in Black Ops 1 and 2, and actually is a great map to see how this whole 3D movement thing would work, and that's Firing Range. But no, Nuketown has the name recognition, so we gotta do Nuketown. Nuketown! Yay! Now, all the other maps, they're pretty great. I mean, some are better for other game modes than others, and they're all not superb for domination, which is kind of disappointing because that's my favorite game mode. I mean, all of them, you have A, B, C. There's no like way to hold A and C. You gotta have A and B or C and B. And most of the people you get paired up with, they're absolute fucking idiots. They're either people who act like they're in a TDM lobby instead of a Dom lobby. Oh, I gotta sit over here and I'm just gonna get a shitload of kills and I'm not actually gonna be help to your team, but I'm just gonna get all these kills and harvest all this XP and you can't do anything about it and I'm just gonna sit over here and I'm gonna be useless. Either that, or you get the morons who are like, okay, we got A, now I'm gonna go to C. Oh, we got C, now I'm gonna go A. Oh, we got A, now I'm gonna go C. Oh, we got C, now I'm gonna go A. Those idiots who, yet again, do nothing useful at all. In fact, rather on the opposite side, they usually flip the spawns and all the enemies are spawning near where you are and, oh no, I'm fucked because somebody spawned behind me. I'm not totally gonna count that apart against from Treyarch and stuff because, I mean, it's not their fault that people are stupid and shitty, but they kind of designed it a little poorly for domination. So, we have 4 playlists. We have Core, Hardcore, Bonus, and Arena. We'll get to Arena later. First, let's talk about the other ones. Under Core, we have TDM, Free-for-All, Domination, Demolition, Kill Confirmed, Hardpoint, Capture the Flag, Search and Destroy, Uplink, and Safeguard. Uplink showed up in Advanced Warfare and is still a shitload of fun. And Safeguard is new to this game and is basically an escort mission. Now, don't groan just yet. It's actually pretty damn fun. You have 2 teams, of course, and one is on attack, one is on defense. The attackers have this robot that you need to be near it for it to move. Defenders, well, defend. They kill the attackers and damage the robot. You can shut down the robot by damaging it enough and it has to reboot. If you hold off the attackers long enough, then you win the round. If the attackers get to their destination, then they win the round. Then you switch sides and same song and dance. Now, if the attackers win both times, it goes into overtime, which both teams are given another chance. If the first team manages to make it all the way to the point, the second team has to essentially beat their time, and if they don't, they lose. For hardcore, we have TDM, free-for-all, domination, kill confirm, search and destroy, and capture the flag. And then in a bonus, there's gun game, ground war, mercenary mosh pit, and what used to be the Nuketown playlist is now chaos mosh pit. Okay, first, I fucking love gun game, but no parties, which makes it useless because it's fun with friends. And I don't want to play with one friend and a shitload of AI, because that's just stupid. Or I could, try to join a game and hope there's a spot for my friend, see if he can join before other people's spots fill in, and see if there's actually... It's stupid. Let me take at least, one other person into gun game. It's not going to cause any problems. Now, my second multiplayer annoyance, that doesn't have to do with people being shits. Chaos Mosh Pit. I just wanted to see Mosh Pit. Much like Mercenary Mosh Pit, which is all maps and modes, and it's all mixed together. Whereas Chaos Mosh Pit is just the small maps and the more fast-paced modes, which is cool, but I want all modes, or at least more modes. And Mercenary Mosh Pit, which is more modes and more maps. Yeah, no parties. What the fuck? So the 2 out of the 4 that I actually want to take my friends into, I can't take my friends into. Thankfully, these are my 2 main annoyances. I mean, that and that stupid create a class naming bullshit, and the fact that we're still using NAT type in 2015 on fucking PC. And finally, we got a title that has dedicated servers everywhere. Before I talk about Arena, I need to cover the specialists. There are 9 specialists in total. Each one has an attack and a defense power, or support, or whatever. Make things go boom, help yourself from not being boom. When you unlock a character and their perk, you only have 1 perk at a time. So if you unlock Ruin, who has the gravity spikes, you could boom, ground pound. You don't have his other power. If you switch to his other power, you also have to unlock it using an unlock token. And then you only have access to that power until you switch back to the ground pound, but that can only be done in between games. This ability charges up over time during games, and it can be progressed by getting kills or doing objectives. So here are the specialists. The first one is Ruin. He has gravity spikes, which is a ground pound, or overdrive, which is going super fast. Next up we have Outrider, who has Sparrow, which is a bow with explosive arrows, or Vision Pulse, which lets you see enemies in your proximity even through walls. Then Prophet, who has Tempest, which is an electricity-based weapon that shocks people and can arc to people who are close enough, and Glitch, which will take you somewhere where you were previously and is a good way to make a getaway. You have Battery, who has War Machine, which is basically a grenade launcher, and Kinetic Armor, which bullets can't penetrate, aside from headshots. Next is Seraph, who has Annihilator, which is a pistol that, well, annihilates people, and Combat Focus, which gives you more bonuses towards your score streaks. After that is Nomad, who has Hive, which is a sticky launcher of nano drones, and Reject, which brings you back to life after getting killed if you activate it. Then we have Reaper, who has Scythe, which is an arm-mounted minigun, and Psychosis, which sends out 3 fake versions of yourself as distractions. Next up is Spectre, who has Ripper, an elongated melee blade, or Active Camo, which is active camo. And finally, Firebreak with Purifier, which is a flamethrower, and Heatwave, which sends out a blast of fire around you, destroying equipment and damaging enemies. These are all really well balanced, aside from the fact that the flamethrower has this insane range, and, well, Reject, the bring yourself to life thing. In the beta, when you got back to life, your score streak continued on from where you left off, and now it doesn't, which is kind of stupid and gives me zero reason to use them anymore. Speaking of balanced, for the most part, all of these weapons are very balanced. They all seem like they had a lot of thought put into them. They don't seem like, we need to have a certain amount of assault rifles, so we'll just do this. No, they all feel useful, and for the most part are balanced. There are none that are useless, I'll give you that. Now there are two weapons we need to talk about when it comes to balance. The first, which is not the worst, like the Children's Rhyme would have you believe, they lied to you, is the Haymaker. It's this automatic shotgun, which, okay, we had one in Advanced Warfare and it was balanced perfectly. It had a shitload of ammo and really fast fire rate, but no range. You had to be like up in their face to get them. No, not with this one. I could be saying hi to my buddy at the other side of the football field and say, hey, here's my Haymaker, and pop, headshot. Yeah, this shit has insane range. However, that is not as bad as this other weapon I'm about to talk about. It's the Drakon. It's a sniper rifle with a 20-round mag, fully semi-automatic fire rate, meaning as fast as you can pull the triggers, as fast as it can fire. Instant two-shot kill no matter where you hit them, and it doesn't matter if you have a silencer on or not. You can put a red dot on it, making it more effective than the most effective LMG, which is also a two-shot kill but has a slower fire rate. The thing is an assault rifle with sniper rifle versions of damage, and it needs to be nerfed to oblivion now. Now, I like how weapon attachments unlock, where you have to get kills with the weapon and progress this experience. Don't like how everything else unlocked works. First, you have to get to the experience level to unlock the thing, and then you actually have to use a token to unlock the thing. No, stupid. XP or token, not both. No. Now, we move on to Arena, which is fucking awesome. I played Arena Mosh Pit once. It's okay. What I want to talk about is the Pro Series. The Pro Series is fucking spectacular. So, everything is great. Everything is unlocked from the start. You can set up your different classes and all that. You don't have any XP barriers or anything like that. Any XP gained goes towards your multiplayer progression. And, well, it's hard to explain, so I'm just going to roll a clip. I already explained it while I was streaming.
Oh. Okay, so ban, protect, voting. You can you can vote to either ban or protect an item, specialist, score streak, whatever. And each person has 30 seconds to ban or protect something. Like Evil Yoshi here just banned the combat knife, so nobody can have a combat knife in their class. And it gives you a chance to change around your classes a little bit. It gives you about a minute or so. Protect HCXD. Okay. Please nobody protect the auto shitty. Or the Drakon. I'd get rid of the Drakon first. No dead silence. No dead silence. That's stupid. Really? You're gonna ban raps? Fuck the Drakon. Please ban the auto shitty. Please ban the auto shitty. One of you two. Ah, damn it. Now you have a specialist draft, where you choose your specialist and power. He's got glitch, which means nobody else on our team can use glitch. Yeah, I know banning dead silence is shitty. Because I play on sound too. I like dead silence. Damn. You know what? Since it is hardpoint,
fire support team heading out.
I'm going with the More Machine. So now everybody's picked their specialists. We have a chance to mess with our classes. Go with engineer, that'll be helpful. Then we will get rid of you. Change you to overkill. I want another VMP. Let's give this one rapid fire. Quick draw. Yeah, we're good. Just in case. This is my other class setup. It's kind of disgusting. In fact, let's get rid of that one. Let's go with a launcher and thermite. And it's, there's a couple of different game modes that are in it.
It's great. I fucking love it. Now, another part of multiplayer that I feel isn't getting enough attention is cryptic keys. Now, there was something that happened in a recent big title where you unlocked things for multiplayer as well as things like calling cards and emblems and such. And they were microtransactions. Not in this one, no. The only way you can unlock them is by progressing in-game. You get cryptic keys for completing each game, and you can either buy these supply crates for 10 or 30 cryptic keys. Then you get stuff. You cannot pay money for stuff. You have to pay with your time, which is awesome. Hey, how is Halo 5 doing worse than Call of Duty? Not only in gameplay, but in fucking ethics! Now, there's kind of customization for your character. Getting kills with a certain specialist will progressively give you more chests and headpieces, and then at a certain point you have to get kills with certain abilities, and so on. But they don't really have a lot of customization to them themselves. There's different, like, details that you feel like you should be able to change, like stickers and such like that. But you can't, and it's kind of really lame, and most of the pieces are really samey. There's some that stand out, usually the ones a lot further down the line. Now, I gotta bitch about it. I have for so many other games. I bitched about it when this beta came around and I hoped it would be fixed, and it wasn't fixed. Just about all the weapons sound like complete ass. Why? Why are games doing this now? Maybe I was spoiled by Advanced Warfare, but all the weapons sounded fucking powerful. Again, FPS. Weapons are the forefront. That thing that not just visually, but auditorially, they're the forefront. Your weapons need to sound powerful, and they don't. I mean, there's like 2, maybe 3 that sound like they actually shoot bullets. The others sound like fucking airsoft weapons. As well as like concussions and flashbangs. You'd expect something that is loud enough to, I don't know, fuck with your senses, to make you not able to hear for a sec, you know, do the whole Private Ryan thing. You'd think it'd sound powerful. Nope, it sounds like a grandma spitting in a paper cup. And speaking of those things, they either last way too fucking long or affect you way too fucking much. You can barely move. For some reason it affects your fucking thrusters, and it lasts for way too long. Now, there are a lot of extras packed in as well. You have your calling cards that you unlock doing shit. You have your combat record where you can go through and look at all the different medals you've earned, all that shit. You have the paint shop for weapon camos. You have emblem creator. You can view other people's created media. I mean, look at this.
First, going into the menu, you have Gunsmith, which is an especially cool kind of thing where, like, I've already got a VMP set up here called Attachment Max, and that's all the attachments I could ever want. We'll set up a new one. Sniper rifle, how about that? This sniper rifle is cheap as fuck, and I hate seeing it in any game. Now look, so you create a variant, enter the name, We'll just name it standard because it's kind of the basic of what I use for the sniper. And you can choose how the loadout's going to go. Usually I go with the ballistic CPU and suppressor. I'll put a camo on there. Dante's. That's alright. There's some from the black market. I don't have any of those yet. Really like this cyborg. So, and save. So now, if I wanted to go into my create a class, let's go to multiplayer, match, create a class. Just clear that. Oh, okay. I want to use. Oh, hey, I got a new shotgun. I want to use that sniper rifle I just set up. Bam. Makes it quick, easy, and painless. Then you have the emblem creation back, which is nice. There's some that come default that you can use. I haven't taken the time to create one yet. I wanted to get more into the game itself, but there's a lot of options available. You got 64 layers you can use. Bunch of different icons, patterns, different random little tools here. Of course, your type. And there's some more stuff you can get from the black market. Calling cards. There's these standard ones that you get from start. You get some from doing stuff in campaign. Some from multiplayer. Some from zombies. And these ones are kind of cool. They're animated. They're the masters. Now, I don't know why it says 92% when I beat the game. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And you have black market ones. I think the black market ones should be animated as well, but that's alright. Then you have Paint Shop, where basically you can create your own weapon camos. Put one on that. I don't know. Do that. Create new. Because why not? Save! You can see other people's variants and paint jobs and emblems, but you can't use them. Which I don't like that. Like, yeah, okay, sure. I thumbs it up? Oh, okay. That's pretty great. And some people do some pretty creative shit. Cloud9. Okay. Deadpool. Rick. Anyways. Paint jobs. I see a lot of CSGO paint jobs here. Whenever I check. Actually, nothing. Oh, there we go. There's the Asimovs and such. Another thing I love is that the combat record is back in a much bigger way, into where it's not just for multiplayer anymore, it's for campaign and zombies too, as you can see right here on the screen. Bam, you can see your deadliest weapon stuff, your accuracy, all that stuff in campaign. Get zombies, you can see all that stuff, your leaderboards and such. Wow. And with multiplayer, you can see your average win-loss, your KD, work per minute, all that stuff. You can see all the different medals you got. Broken up in different categories and such. Yada. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, and theater is back. Kinda. It's very broken at the moment.
And yeah, we have theater mode back. Although, it's broken. This shit doesn't like to load, and what it does, it's only half the time, and sometimes the labels are messed up, your bookmarks don't show up. So I hope they get this working soon, but for now it's still broken. And I don't like broken things. Especially when it's theater, something that I've been wanting to come back since, well, it went away.
So yeah, I do hope they fix this soon. I mean, I miss and love theater mode. Okay, I've heard complaints left and right about issues on PC. You know what? I'll tell you the issues I had. I had one crash because I was tabbing in and out a shitload because I was streaming at the time and I didn't have it set to windowed borderless yet. I just had it full screen. And I had 2, maybe 3 missions where like frames dropped down to like 30, but picked back up almost instantly. Other than that, yeah, I actually have to limit my frames to 60 when I'm streaming because they get this awful screen tearing on my stream where it looks really weird. I have to limit it to 60. Normally, on average, I'm getting about 120 to 160. Most of the people I've heard complaining about these issues are complaining about shit like, why can't my GT640 run it on hay? I'm not saying that's everyone. I'm saying that's most of everyone. Now, I know there are some builds that, for some unknown reason, have issues. Jim Sterling's, for example. I'm just saying I did not get those issues, so will not really factor into my review. However, I do understand those issues are happening to legitimate people and not just the stupid dumbasses who, I can't play with my mom's netbook, why? Those people are out there in numbers. I understand those issues are happening to legitimate people, and I'm not discounting that. And I am seeing that Treyarch has been very responsive, especially on their store page, about letting people know, hey, we understand that some builds are having a problem and we're not sure why. We'll update you as soon as we can. Next day, we understand that certain i5s are having issues running this. We've released a patch today to try to help solve the problem. Post the next day. We're glad that this solved a lot of your problems and we understand a lot more of you also have issues. We are working on them as soon as possible. It's constant communication, and that's really good. And that's not what we got from WB. A lot of people were crying that this was another, oh no, this is just like Arkham Knight. It's not. It's not. Calm the fuck down before you start an upcry. I'm just as willing to start an upcry as the next guy. I love complaining about shit. Right now I'm complaining about the complainers because they don't complain about the right shit. Anyways, all that being said, it's time for the Junior Judgments. Again, if you're new to my channel and how I do reviews, I have 6 different categories that I rate the game on before I actually rate it on its final rating, as I call Jayson's Judgment. Junior Judgments. Okay, so we have gameplay, graphics, story, audio, multiplayer, and replayability and content. Gameplay. Aside from 2 weapons being heavily overpowered, it is a really good time, and I've already put more than 48 hours into this game, and it hasn't even been out a week. I am absolutely hooked, not just as a fan of Call of Duty, but as a fan of FPSs in general. It is mechanically fantastic. 9. Same thing I said about Halo 5 on graphics, but on a little bit of a lesser scale. The graphics just aren't as impressive, but some impressive things are done. However, there's some issues with texture pop-in and such like that, and on Ultra, that's just not acceptable. However, a lot of the lighting effects and stuff are done in a way that it makes things look a lot more pretty than they actually are, and that's fine by me as long as it's done properly, not an overuse of lens flare. Battlefield 4. I'm gonna give that an 8. Story. Now, I'm including the whole staging area in the segment just to disclose that, but Oh my god, I was thrown for a loop. It was absolutely fucking fascinating. Of course, you got to have your fun, dumb explosion Michael Bay moments, but there's a lot of really good thought pieces there too, and a lot of parts that really fuck with your head and really make you ask questions. And that's what I really want from a game, is not just to give me, here's what hit, turn, and end. It really fucked with my perception of each and every character, including my own. So I'm going to give that a 9. Audio. Why do weapons sound so shitty? Halo 5, this game, come on! I mean, there are a few ones that stand out. There's a 50 caliber sniper rifle that sounds like a goddamn monster. But other than that, everything sounds so fucking weak. However, explosions, the atmosphere, the music, it's all really good. So that bumps it up to a 7. Multiplayer. This is the most fun I've had in a Call of Duty in a long time. I mean, a long time. I'm even having fun in Team Deathmatch, and I never play Team Deathmatch. And it's a little imbalanced, but I have no doubt that these issues will be fixed, and those weapons will probably be a little too nerfed. I mean, people are shitty, but you can't blame Treyarch for the cesspool of the human nature. And honestly, I played for like 10 hours on my first day. I mean, I only got called a homosexual once, and I told him that I was bi, and he didn't know how to respond, and so that was a good time all around. So there's fun to be had, even with the trolls. 9. Replayability and content. There's so much to do here. Although Nightmares is lazily done, it has incredible replay value. I'm going to give it an 8. Now, you're here for this final bit. Jayson's final judgment. Now, out of 10, I give this game an 8.5. Yes, I'm doing 0.5s. I talked about it last time. Shut the fuck up. I wanted to give this game a 9, but the lazy execution of Nightmares and the fact that there are some people having issues on PC out there with legitimate problems, as well as the fact that theater mode is absolutely unusable at this moment, that's what knocked it down half a point. These issues didn't happen with me on the PC, or else it would be lower. I'm grading this on my personal experience. That's why I'm giving it an 8.5. This has the possibility of being a 9 to a 9.5 if they fix the certain issues they have, and to see if they fix the DLC kind of bullshit that they got going on with the Giant. I mean, we must be in the future, because a Call of Duty title and a Halo game came out in the same year, and comparatively the Halo one is crap? What the fuck is going on? Did I get sucked into a wormhole? I mean, compare the two, there's not even a question about it. Black Ops 3 is the far superior game. I mean, Until Dawn was absolute garbage, Halo 5 was mediocre at best, and Black Ops 3 is a title that absolutely revolutionizes first-person shooters for the first time in years? What's next? A Rainbow Six game that absolutely is shit? A Battlefront that isn't a Battlefront? A beta for both that's actually a glorified demo? Psh, no way! Y'all stay sexy out there. What the fuck is going on in 2015? I'm so fucking sick of this stupid shit. If I seem a little agitated, it's because I am. I just spent a good hour and a half recording, and the camera died as I was trying to shut it off because I was already finished, and I was waiting to hit the button to make it stop, and since it died in the middle of recording, it was still right into the SD card. It's all fucking corrupted! God fucking damn it! Okay. Woosah, and let's get this motherfucker done. I won't be doing any major Spoiler story. Spoiler stories. I need sleep, and I just lost 2 hours because of a filming fuck up. I'm a moron. I'm losing my mind. 7 coffees in, still not ready for the bullshit of losing that 2 hours of footage. I was done. Now, I'm losing my voice. Fuck. Why am I yelling at my phone? Oh my god. Breathe, Jayson. I'm losing my mind. Now, also in the same... I hit the mic. So, after you can... I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm fucking lost. I should have gone to sleep like 4 hours ago, but I started filming like 3 hours ago, and then I lost like 2 hours of footage, and I had to go lose my goddamn mind for a little bit, and then I started recording again, and that was a mistake. I'm gonna shut up now and keep filming and keep making the mistake. After I drink some Fanta. Delicious orange Fanta. I'm not sponsored by Coca-Cola. Although I wouldn't mind it if you wanted to. Aha!